Hi all. Right, back with more Normandy, the beginning and the end, using the Alone in the Storm. So, expansion, playing scenario 1, patrolling the front. This is my part 14. So yeah, about to start turn 4 out of 6 turns. Yeah, that's where we left things, I think. Yeah, it wasn't a good turn for us, was it? Well, the company's been routed. We've taken a lot of hits in here, I think. This platoon or platoons. Yeah, I'm showing him. Yeah, they're both marked for reaction then. Yeah, and I suppose the officer doesn't really do that, but he's going to give commands and whatever. He's going to activate things. Okay, so yeah, about to start turn 4. Not sure I've got enough lot of time tonight. It's near the end of the night, so thought I'd try and didn't feel like I was up for it, to be honest, but I click record anyway. Before I did though, I was looking at a comment that Hal had sent a link to part 9, and I'd seen it earlier and wondered, I needed to get to the computer to have a look. Basically, he was telling me, you know what, it's really, I shouldn't really try and go into this because the rules are clearly a bit of a mess between versions of the rulebook. He pointed out that there was a missing sections in the PDF version of the 2.1 rules on BGG, and sections 23 and 24 were missing. And if you look up that, because that's the PDF version I was using, he's quite right. However, I'm using the Help Arrives version, physical version of the rulebooks, and these sections are here, 23 and 24. But these are missing on the PDF version of the 2.1 rules on the Normandy beginning and end site, link. They're in the file section of that. So his question was that these look like they're missing, can anybody blah blah blah, and he asked a question on the Normandy section. Somebody gave him a link to a PDF version of the 2.1 rules for Help Arrives, and they're there on the 2.1 version of the Help Arrives rules. However, they're exactly the same as this book, so although they have these, they're missing the bits that I talked about in part 9 and what got Hal to send over his comment regarding that. So there's no mention, there's nothing here about minefields, dragon's teeth, and what's the other one? I can't mind the other one. There's 3 of them that are missing. And if you look on the... You know what, I'm getting mixed up myself. Yeah, if you look on the 2.1 PDF version of the rules on the Normandy link, these sections are there. And if you look on the 2.1 rules of the Help Arrives book, which it seems identical to the book I'm reading physically, then they're not there. However, like Hal's pointed out, these are there in that, and they're not there in the other one. So there's glitches somewhere. So if I want to carry on things properly, I'm probably going to have to be flipping between different versions of the rule books. Like, I can use this in my version 2.0 of the rules to get the other details, or use some of the PDFs. You know what? It's a bit of a mess. Whether some of the things are meant to not be there anymore, I don't know. But it's a bit of a shambles, so I can only assume things got messed up in whether it was the translation, because remember, this is a Spanish game, so the initial rules would have been in Spanish. So whether it's anything to do with that, or I don't know what, but there's a bit of a mess somewhere for sure. Okay, That's I think that's all I had to talk about. That's the only recent comment I got. Oh yeah, no, I meant to look at this as well. I got an answer again from the same guy that answered my question. And this was a question that John Brown had sort of highlighted, that he felt that you could identify more than one intel marker. Um, but I have to say the guy's reply again didn't. I've not responded to that, but I'm going to say something because I guess I want to know where he's where he's getting that information from, because he was basically saying yes, you could identify more than one intel marker if you what's the word on when you join the two platoons together? Coordinate. If you coordinate two officers, he says then that would allow you to identify more than one intel marker. And I'm just like, that just, there's nothing in the rules that led me to think that way, for sure. And I don't think John Brown was thinking along the lines either. So I'm gonna look a bit more into that rather than maybe pick on that reply. Let's just give the guys benefit of the doubt just now. But I'm sure that's what he was suggesting, that it was possible if you coordinated officers. And that didn't really ring true with anything that I've read. So and what I want to make sure that the guys got the information, the answers that we're getting are some kind of either official answer from somebody within the game. Like I say, looks like he's a Spanish. The name's Spanish. He's got the Spanish flag, so which makes me think that maybe he might be involved in the game. That's not necessarily true as well, though, because I'm sure Spanish-speaking people have probably homed in on this game. Because if they're the same as me and can only speak their language, then fortunately for us, I guess things do get translated for us, and we're maybe spoiled. We are a spoiled bunch. I don't know any other language. I'd love to be able to do it, but if you look at all other European countries in particular, I think they all get taught English, don't they? They all learn English. They can all speak English, which is, we're a bit behind the times with that. That's really kind of rude, that to be brought up in life like that and not. But anyway, as what it is. You don't get forced into it, I suppose. You don't get pressured into trying to learn some other language. You get the option, I suppose. Anyway, Grant, this isn't a language video. So but I don't know also if he's answering the questions, but there's no backup to the two answers that he's made. There's not real backup. He's not linked to any rule or anything like that, which it might be that he's got things right, but both answers haven't. I mean, the first answer said that you don't put what is it, activity level markers on it, and it clearly says in the rules that you do. So that one gets me thinking right away that maybe he's not sure as well. Anyway, okay. We'll come back to that. We don't need it to rest of this scenario anyway, because there's no intel markers left, so that'll be that. Right, turn. Hang on. We need initiative. Well, no, we're at the start of the turn, Grant. I think I probably want the solo rules for this, though, because you've got the headquarters phase, haven't you? Let me see. Sequence of play, page 6. Just to get that right. So you've got the command phase, headquarters phase. Right, so command phase, is anybody not in command? Well, these routed back here, but they're officers with them, so they're still in command. Echo, assuming that's his stuff there, they're in command. They've got the 2 stacks. Bravo, they've got the 2 stacks. And because they've only got 3, and that's our company. And then for the Germans, there's Alpha, Bravo, and then they're a Bravo as well, aren't they? Yeah, so no issues with command. So then headquarters phase. So this is determining the AI's attitude. Now this could be, things could change here for sure, because its rush value was 4 before. So we need to go through this carefully. Right, so it's this chart here. I was going to do it through the rules, but hopefully we can do it through this chart. So we've to count the controlled objectives, and yeah, I was a little doubtful of this previously because it states in the rules that if there's no controlled objectives, in fact, does it not say it there in the actual rules? Count how many objectives are controlled by the AI side or their current victory points if the scenario doesn't include objective hexes. So it says or. So, we have objective markers in play. So it tends to lead you to think within the rules there that you would only count them because we've got them in play and not count other victory points. And there's a lot of other victory points because there's a lot of step losses. But I overrode that and thought that it should be a combination of the two. Nobody's commented and said that they felt differently about that, so we're going to stick with that. Because I feel like for the AI side, they're not bothering about the objective markers. There's not been one movement to take an objective hex, so they're battering us about stupid. I mean, they've routed one of our companies already, which means that we've taken a lot of step losses. And each step loss counts as a victory point. So I think we have to count these here. I think we do. So I'm going to stick with that. I mean, in the player aid there, it doesn't suggest it's an or. It's count controlled objectives / victory points earned. But it does say or in the rule book. But I'm going to say that they both count. So this is, right, they've no controlled objectives, they've not bothered with them. However, victory points earned by the AI side, well, there's quite a few. So, right, let's start at the top here. That's a double time, right, so nothing there. So that's 1, and then 2, and then, let's say, each step loss counts as 1. Right, so that's 2 to start with. And then I'll just go top to bottom, left to right. There's another one here, that's 3. Oh, right, hang on, see, just about looked underneath. So that's 1, 2, 3, and then he's taken 2 step losses. So that's us up to 5. That's German. And then in here, all good. Yeah, that machine gun's fine, isn't it? So we're up to 5. That's German, right? And then along here, and this is clearly messy, we've got another 1, 2, 3, 4 step losses. So that's 9. Is that right? Yeah, 9. So I'll come back to that. I'll go, like I said, top to bottom, left to right. Well, actually, I think there's nothing else there. No. So 9, and then we've got another 1 there, that's 10. And another 1 there, that's 11. And I think that's it, isn't it? These are German. Yeah. So 11, they've got 11 step losses on us, which counts for 11 victory points. And then, so for the player side, right, hang on. Do I have, that's a D10, isn't it? Yeah. Right, well, hopefully I'll remember 11. Do I not have, hang on, I've got a couple of dice here. I've got D12s, no. Oh, D10s, great. Right, okay, I'll remember it, hopefully. So, what have they done? Well, they've got 1, 2, 3 objectives. Sorry, maybe not seeing one at the top. 1, 2, 3. Now, hang on, no, they've got another one here, haven't they? Is that not 1 there? Yeah. So they've got 4. Remember, there's 5 to start in the game. So they've got 4 at the 5. So that's 4 to start with. And then step losses on the Germans. We've got 1 there. So added on to the 4 objectives, that's 5. Nothing in there. Nothing in there. There's another one, that's 6. 7. And another one, 8. And don't think there's anything in there actually. No, nothing in there. So 8. So the AI have got 11 victory points. We've got 8. So we calculate the difference. We subtract 11 take away 8. So we're left with 3. And that is objectives ratio. So the ratio is down here at 3. Right? So we're looking on that column there. They might actually go defensive then. Okay. So hopefully I am doing this right then. Because would they be going defensive right now? Yeah, maybe. They've got more if you look at it right now, if the game was to end right now, they would have 11. They would have 11. We would have 8. Bearing in mind, I think you've got to win it by 5 points to actually win, haven't you? I think it said that. However, let's see the forces ratio. So, count AI forces in play. And discard depleted companies. Right. Well, they don't have any depleted companies, but I do want to wonder. I'm not sure. What classifies a depleted company? I think that's what we need to check up on. Right, I was a little confused there. I was hunting high and low on the PDF for the main rules, but depleted companies is just the AI thing. Well, it's just in the solo rules, so it's nothing to do with the main rules itself, and this is just to do some checks. So, yeah, I haven't looked at this. I remember reading about it. Yes. Right. Okay, but anyway, a company is considered depleted if the company's morale has been reduced by at least. Right. I always find this a bit written in a confusing way. I think the example helps me here. So, by at least -2 steps for companies with 2 platoons, that is, the company has 2 steps remaining. -2 steps for companies with 2 platoons. See, that confuses me. -3 steps for companies with 3 platoons. Right. Let's not look at that bit, because I can't get my head around the way that's run. In other words, a depleted company is any company with a remaining number of non-routed steps equal to or lower than the number of platoons that originally comprised it, not counting the officer. Well, hang on here. We're looking at somebody that is routed. So maybe this doesn't count at all here. Did the chart's underneath here, guys? Did it talk about? It just says depleted companies, doesn't it? Count AI forces in play and discard depleted companies. Count player companies in play and discard depleted ones. But it says they are a depleted company is any company with a remaining number of non-routed steps equal to or lower than the number of platoons that originally comprised that. Well, the company we're looking at is routed, so that's not helping. That means it's still counted then, because it's routed. Example, a company starts with 2 platoons and 1 officer. During combat, the platoons suffer a combined loss of 4 steps, 2 from each platoon. The company morale has been reduced by 2, yeah, get that, and has only 2 steps remaining now, so it's considered a depleted company, because it started with 2, and it's only got 2 steps remaining. That means it's depleted. Depleted companies are indicated with appropriate markers that must be placed on the HQ board for quick locating. I mean, is this just an AI thing? I mean, no, because it asks, the question asked here about the player as well, doesn't it? Count AI forces in play and discard depleted companies. Count player companies in play and discard depleted ones. I don't know. And there's depleted oh, there is one. Yeah, there's a count on there. Depleted company. So, but it talks about non-routed steps. So, if these weren't routed, I'm thinking they would be, because this company started with 4 platoons, and its step losses are 1, 2, 3, 4, and there's 2 in here as well. 5, 6. So it started with 4. I think actually they need to lose 8, don't they? Going by that. Because if they had 2 companies, they would need to have 2 steps left. If they had 3 companies, they would need to have 3 steps left, or less. And if they had 4 companies, they would need to have 4 steps left. And they've got more than that, haven't they? They've got 1, 2, 3. Oh no, we've got 4 left, haven't we? That's 1, 2. Oh no, I think I've got 1, 2, and I've got another 4 here, haven't I? Because these only got 1 hit. Yeah, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. I've got 6 steps left. Yeah, I do. But the problem there is, the way I was reading that, if we had only 4 steps left, these are routed, and it says a depleted company is any company with a remaining number of non-routed steps. So I don't think that would be classified as depleted either. Okay. Well, anyway, if it is counted, they've got enough steps. My guess is it's not, because they're routed. So count AI forces in play and discard depleted companies. There's none. Count player companies and discard. There's 3 and 3. So it's 1 to 1. Right. So we're 1 to 1, and we're on a 3, 1 to 1 on a 3. Well, that is going to be, our resistance value is 6, which means they're going on the defensive. So that is going to change to this, 6 on the resistance. Are you feeling comfortable enough about that? Because I'm starting to now wonder that if we didn't count victory point, like step losses, if we didn't count step losses, the results would be 1 to 1 in the forces ratio, and it would be 1, 2, 3, 4 victory points. So it'd be a -4. So it'd be a way up here, wouldn't it? It'd be a -4. So the rush value would be a 3, which is kind of like what I was looking for. I don't know. I think you've surely got to take the step losses into account here. Surely. I mean, I wish it didn't word that. Where is the bit? What are we doing this headquarters phase, eh? Count how many objectives are controlled by the AI side, or their current victory points if the scenario doesn't include objective hexes. I mean, it does include objective hexes, so Should we just be considering them and nothing else? I don't think so. The AI is not making any effort to gain them, so I guess that means it's always going to be on the rush column, isn't it? Pretty much. Nah, I don't know. I would go and ask a question, but I need somebody to show up that's going to start giving me some answers, I think. I mean, the way it's written in the rules suggests to me that you wouldn't count step losses here. The way it's on the coach and the player aid here is debatable, to be honest. It just says controlled objectives / victory points earned. Like, to me, that means a bit of both, really. But it might, the way it's worded in the rulebook says one or if it doesn't have one, use the other. Well, if it doesn't have objectives, well, no. Granted, if it doesn't have objectives, you just count step losses. Because there's no objectives, so there's not, like, you don't use both because the other one's not there. Yeah. Seems more common sense to do it this way. They go on the defensive now. And try and protect what they've got. Makes sense, doesn't it? They're winning. And they're not, like I say, I want to say that the victory, the result to victory is going to be 5. A side is declared winner if they have 5 points or more than the opponent. Otherwise, the outcome is considered a tie. So, yeah, but I mean, the rules aren't quite going into that. They're just because each scenario could be different. Don't think they could cater for that. Okay. Right, let's leave it at that. Then we've just got the initiative phase, and then we're in activation. Well, I'll do the initiative first. I know I'm only at 27 minutes, but probably going to have to call this the end of the night. But so we're going to roll the dice. So the green dice is the Americans, blue dice is the Germans. Americans get a +2 because they're the attacker and they were initiative last turn. So. Ooh, it's a tie, isn't it? Because they get a +2. This is a tie, so we roll again. Let's say modifiers. Yeah, so they get a +2 to the 3. So it's still a US initiative. So I'll leave. Yeah, don't need to change them. So 6 resistance, so they're on the defensive. So that'll show us something different. Hopefully that's right. Yeah, I think so. Right, yeah, I'm going to have to leave it for the night, I think. But at least I can come back tomorrow and get right into things. And the US are going to. Well, I don't know what we're going to do. I mean, we want to get these moving. We want to get these up and running again, but I don't think that's our priority, is it? Our priority is probably, I don't know, moving something into this hex again, maybe. Because the fact that the Germans are on the defensive now might show some movement to take objective hexes, possibly. I don't know, I mean, I've not studied that. But it might, just to shore things up. I mean, this is a 5 defense divisor hex as well. So you would think, if you were playing the Germans right now, you'd probably be jumping into this hex, I think. Take the objective, and it's a good defensive hex, isn't it? So maybe we should put something in there, but I want to try and bash the machine guns. If they've got a 6 defense, Oh, they're going to get more. They get half of that in high activity level markers. They're going to get 3 high activity level markers. Things. Yeah, they're going to get 3. So there's a good chance of every one of these companies acting twice. Oh man. Well, I like that side of it. I do like the fact that it seems to be hard. So that's a good thing. Whether it's the perfect balance or not, I don't know. Feels a bit like we're up against it, but yeah, who knows. Like I say, these victory points, the ones that we're sitting in, we've got 4 of them. Let's just say, for instance, they were all, I don't suppose it can be all 2s, but one of them could be a 3, one of them could be a 2, couple of 1s, you know, you could be talking about 7 or 8 victory points maybe. Possible, isn't it? So that would balance things out quite a bit. So, and then we're on turn 4, 5 and 6, yeah, and we've still got 3 turns to go. Right, okay. I'll think about it before I hit record tomorrow. I should get back tomorrow for a bit more. Didn't get much chance today, but hopefully get a shot tomorrow. So I'll pause there though, because 31 minutes is still it's just too short. I know the last couple I've had have been quite short, haven't they? But that's yeah, we can add a bit more to that. So I'll be back tomorrow. Cheers. Hi all, right, oh no, this is a continuation, yeah, I forgot, this is the continuation of part 14, isn't it? Yeah, I think I'm about half an hour in, 29 minutes, I want to say it was, maybe? No, I think it was in the 30 minutes, actually. Anyway, let's add a bit more onto this. This is the following day. I wasn't getting back last night. Hopefully get a couple of parts done today, and then things might dry up a little. So, it's us to go. We've done the initiative. I've done all the HQ phase. Yeah, they're on resistance 6, so they're going to defend now. So I'm going to stick with that then. I know there was a little bit of debate about how we should count up victory points, but I've got to feel like it was done in the right way there. But please let me know if you think differently. The way it's worded in the rulebook, like I say, does seem to suggest that you would only do it one way rather than both that I've done. So anyway, okay, so well, I've got to get something going here. Now I need these back in action, I know, but that's not the priority right now. I don't think they're probably in safety over there. So I think we should I was thinking about this at first, going for this, but I think I should get in amongst this machine gun, because it's going to come and hurt us back and possibly rout this other company here. So this, we're going to, Lieutenant Reish, we're going to activate him from Echo Company now. I thought we had 2 nice platoons here, but unfortunately this guy's got, I can zoom in a little bit there. He's been flipped to he's 1 step side, so which reduces his firepower quite a bit. So in actual fact, we've got 3 underneath there, and then only 5 on top is 8. However, we're going to use this as well, getting the benefit of the machine gun. So 8, and then was it 8, 3, 5, 8? Yeah, 8 and then 9 is 17. So we're going to use the 17. Remember, the downside to this is it's a 5 defense, isn't it? So it'd be 17, so it'd go in the 16 column, so we can't even get a 10 result on the 16 column. So the best we're going to do is we'll get 1 hit. Yeah, the other thing was about maybe trying to move into that, but no, I don't think I should use that. Well, hold on a second here. Could I move maybe the platoon into that hex? That would reduce my firepower to 8, 9, 10, 11, which would draw in the 10 column. Then make it a bit harder for a hit. Well, just looking at the chart there, remember we're going to get a +3, a -3 Well, in fact, it could be a -4. Yeah, they've got 6 steps. So we're going to have the machine gun and firing adjacent. We're going to have the automatic fire, so that's -3. And we're going to have the 6 steps. So that would be a -4. So this might be worthwhile doing then. Because on the 10 column, if I decide to move the platoon, not use that platoon, I need a result of 5. And remember, I can't get a result of 10 even if I go for the full firepower. The best I can get is 9. You can see from the 16 column, which is 17 dropped down by 1. So, but if I go in this column, the result I need is a 5, and I'm getting a -4. So a 9. Yeah, a 9 or less would be fine. I think the thing is, it would guarantee me a hit if I did fire with the other. The other problem is with this platoon moving, they might react to that, but you know what? He's going to be in a 5 divide. It's going to be in here. Yeah, I kind of like that actually. So, well, actually, none of them are. If I move the guy first, nothing's going to react, is it? Because his platoon's still to move within 3. Is that right? Yeah. Yeah, we worked that one out. He'll only react without. Oh, hold on. This guy's got a reaction marker. Yeah, but you can't see him. You can't see through. Again, these are 2 friendly stacks. So, although he's actually got line of sight to that hex, 2 friendly stacks, they can't fire through that. That's my take on that. I'm pretty sure that must be right. If one of these hexes was unoccupied by a friendly unit, yes, it would be fine. So he can't fire through there. So I think I'm going to move this first then. So I'm going to move the platoon into that hex, just securing the hex. I mean, we did have it controlled, but I guess sort of my worry was that it was maybe the Germans might try and take it back. I don't know. The fact that we went in defensive mode, I'm not very sure what they're going to do. Okay, so we move him in there and mark him as finished. And like I say, they'll look at reaction, and then because this platoon's still to move within 3 hexes of them, like this could react, this could react, this could react. They've all got platoons within 3 that can move, this machine gun and these 2 guys. So they're not going to consider it. Just double checking that one again. They've got to have a fire factor of 5 to react, but should probably would have. Oh, hold on, they're now in defensive mode. So in defensive mode, resistance greater than 0, they're going to roll 1d10 if a player force is moving to assault AI forces, or moving from hexes with device value 2-3 towards hexes with device value 1-4-5. That's what's, or is it? No, that's a 5 to a 5. He's moving from, so that's not. I'll just show you this one because we've not really looked at this. Yeah, just as well. Remember the fact that we're in defensive. So without a reaction marker, it needs to have a fire factor of 5, which I'm pretty sure it will have. And then, of course, I was thinking we were down here, and it was just going to check and not do it, but it's in defensive mode. So roll a 1d10 if a player force is moving to assault AI forces. Well, that's not the case. Or moving from hexes with divisor value 2-3 towards hexes with divisor value 4-5. Well, it's moving to a hex with 4-5, but it's moving from a hex with 4-5. So that's a no. And there are other non-routed player platoons or companies remaining to be activated within 3 hexes. Roll 1d10 if a player force is moving. And then the next one, right, I'm not sure if that's meaning the same as what we had before. Roll a d10 if a player force, let's just say that this was the case. Roll a d10 if a player force is moving from hexes with device value 2-3 to 4-5. And there are other non-routed player platoons or companies remaining to be activated within 3 hexes. Well, that's saying it's got to have other ones to actually do this die roll, which is the opposite from that, isn't it? Which feels a little odd. With a roll greater than or equal to 5, the AI force reacts. This second point though, roll 1d10 if an AI force's FF is at least MFF, and then with a result greater than or equal to 7, it reacts. Right, so they are going to check for reaction here. I think I still want to go for this, I think. That seems a bit odd, that bit about the 3 within 3 hexes. Let me see if I can find that in the rules. That's worded exactly the same in the rules. So it needs to be moving from a 2-3 defensive value to a 5-4-5 defensive value, and have other non-routed player platoons within 3 hexes remaining to be activated, which is the opposite from that. If there are no other non-routed player platoons. Yeah, so that is the opposite from that. Fair enough. Okay. Well, that's it's not going to apply anyway, because we're moving from a 5 defensive value to a 5 defensive value. But however, the second one is going to apply because I'm looking at the wrong bit. Down here, aren't we? If there are no other... No, hang on. Where are you? Here. Yeah, I'm totally lost now. Where? I'm in here. Sorry, I'm looking at offensive mode. Yes. Defensive. We've read that bit. It's this bit here that is going to apply. 1.2. Roll 1d10 if an AI force's FF is at least MFF with a result greater than or equal to 7, it reacts. Okay, so now in what order is there an order in which these, because this can react, this can react, and this can react, and to be sure about that, we're moving into a 5, so we need to have 10, which is exactly what that is. You need to have 10 fire factors to get the minimum fire factor, so that applies. This one is 11, I think. He's got 5, he's got 6, so that's 11, so that applies. Which could come down to being that one then first, because that's 10, that's 11. And then in here, we have, that's reduced to 3, that's reduced to 5, so that's only 8. So that one can't react. So it's between these two. I mean, my guess is they're both going to check and roll on D10. Can we react twice? Can somebody react and then somebody else react? I know they can't join up their firepower and reaction, like fire group. I remember reading that. I think I probably need the main rules, reaction rules here. Right, give me a sec. I'm not sure about this one. Might go and ask a question again. Well, can leave it here in the video for you guys if you want to like have a bash at this. As in, well, what I'm talking about is just what I've said here. If I choose to react with this, and then let's just say they react and they don't do any damage, can I still then react with this? Or is that my reaction, like, attempt, and then this would have to move again for this to be able to react? I get the feeling the latter there might be the one that's correct. So I think I would only be able to react to that with this, and then these guys wouldn't be able to react unless this moved further. I'm going to go with that. I might pop that question out there though. I'm reading the rules there, and although I didn't read everything word for word, I sort of glossed over it there, so it might be clear in there. Yeah. Oh, hold on. We're reacting without... I forgot, we're reacting without reaction markers. That changes things, doesn't it? Because they're not going to have minimum fire factor. This is going to be half, this is going to be 5, this is going to be 6. Yeah, so they're not going to react. Because remember, they need 10, because this is a 5... what is it? It's on one of these charts, isn't it? It's on the back of the chart that I've got open here. I was in 2 places. I've seen it twice. There it is. Yeah, 10 fire factors attacking hexes with divisor value 4 or 5. That's what the NFF would be for that hex. So he's only going to have half of 10, which is 5. He's only going to have half of 11, which is 6. So they can. But I'll leave that question in there as well then, if you want to give me your thoughts on that. Okay, so no reaction from that. So the other guys are going to attack them. The other guys are going to attack that. And we've got 3, 8, because he's got a -1. So 8 plus the machine gun is 11. Yeah, so 11 into there. We've got a machine gun, we've got the automatic weapons. Does the 3 still count for automatic weapons when it is? Yeah, it's still in the red, yeah. Doesn't matter, the guy on top's fine. So 11 with the -2 for machine gun, -1 for semi-automatic fire or automatic fire or whatever it is. 6 steps in the hex, another -1, so -4. Okay, good stuff. Right. So -4, let's say we need a 9 or less on us. We're firing on there's no 11 columns, we're firing on 10 column with a -4. So here we go. What did I say, a 9 or less? Come on, don't let me down. That's perfect. So 5 -4, that's actually a 1 result. And you can see that though, if I'd been doing the 17, a 1 result there for me would be 9. But 9 divided by 5 is still just 1. So that's why it seemed more sensible to do that and move that other unit. So we were on the... what was it, 11? 12, 10. It was 11, we reduced it to 10. And we got a 1 result. A 5 -4, wasn't it? 1 result. So it's 7 divided by 5 is 1. That's the best we could do. So we get 1 hit. Now we kind of want that on the machine gun, but this is a random thing, isn't it? The fact that one's a machine gun, I don't think it matters. Let me just double check. Oops. Yeah, so maybe I haven't went over this. 7.4 determination of losses and their effects is on page 13. The hits received by a hex must be allocated between all platoons in the hex that can be affected by the type of attack used. Right, just thought I'd come across and look at that. So that was that. There's an example there. It's, yeah, regarding types of attack. We're only using the AP anti-personnel. So, but there's some priorities here. First priority is, if there are both veteran and green platoons in a hex, the green platoons are assigned hits first. So, none of ours are veteran or green. If there are both spotted and non-spotted platoons in the hex, the spotted platoons are assigned hits first. So, I don't think we're ever going to have that situation in this scenario, and I can't quite... I could only think that at a certain range, certain small, like a small platoon might not be spotted at a certain bit, and a larger platoon would. But they're still allowed to fire in the hex, and they can still be hit. But obviously the priority there is that spotted would be targeted first for the step loss. And then platoons with fewer step losses are assigned hits before those with more step losses. In addition, one must attempt to equalise the step loss by all stack platoons affected by the attack. So you're just spreading that out. I've not had any issues with that. It's just the fact this was a machine gun instead of a normal platoon, but I don't think it's going to differentiate there. When more than one platoon is eligible to receive a hit, the hit is randomly assigned. Yeah. So there's not any special... Yeah, there's not any priority given to a platoon that's got... It's a machine gun platoon or not. So we're just going to randomise them kind of hope we get the machine gun. I mean, yeah, because it's one step closer to being defeated. That's really the only reason. I mean, it's still going to have 2 steps left. So we'll say 1, 2, 3 for the platoon on top, 4, 5, 6 for the machine gun, and we'll show you this one in case you think I'm up to any mischief. So 1, 2, 3 for the platoon, 4, 5, 6 for the machine gun. Yeah, right. So we get the other way about. So not to worry. So it's the normal platoon that gets the hit. Oh, that's just a step loss. Little bit. There we go. Okay, well, like I say, that's the best we could have done with that. Right, what am I at, 19 minutes? Should I push on? Well, it's going to be the eye's turn, isn't it? Hold on. These are going to be marked finished. They're both fired. And the officer, I'm not going to move him. He's got a command value of 1, command radius of 1, and he's within range of both of them, so that's all fine. So, yeah, it's a shame these finish markers have to go on, isn't it? It just makes it look yuck. It's quite nice when they're not around, but I suppose it's all marked. We've got routed markers there and step loss markers, and you've got to track these things, so it's probably not I mean, unless you had something on the side that tracked everything. I mean, I dare say you could keep a tally of all your troops in a bit of paper and mark them all down. But yeah, you'd be keep referencing that to see which. It'd be harder, I think. Yeah. I just think it looks nicer, obviously, when they're not on them. But anyway. Okay, yeah, I think I'll just stop the video there. I do need to. I'm going to go and have a wee cycle again on my bike. So I think if I try and do a little bit more, it might tempt me to put it off, and then I might put it off longer and then not go. So I don't want to do that. So I'll go and get myself prepared for that, and then get that done. Come back and hopefully get a couple of parts done later on. This evening, tonight, etc. Yeah, good with that. Let's see, I think I had 30 some minutes, so I don't know, 20-ish. So that'll be fine. I got one comment back from Hal, apologising that when he commented on from part 9, apologising that it wasn't the same bit he was looking at in the rulebook. I was like, no need to apologise, you've picked up another bit that's relevant. So the rulebook from page, I've replied to him, the rulebook from pages, I think it's like 39 to 43. If you look at different versions of the rulebook, and when I say different versions, I do mean version 2.1, but in different states, as in version 2.1, that came with the Helper Ives game, physical copy, version 2.1 that's on the BGG Normandy website, and version 2.1, the digital version, the PDF, the version 2.1 and the Helper Ives. There's all a mix between them. If you look between pages 39 and 43, between all the different versions, if you've got the physical Helper Ives one and the 2 other ones, the Normandy 2.1 in the file section and the Helper Ives 2.1 in the file section, you'll find they're all kind of different. Well, the Helper Ives PDF one is the same as the physical copy that I've got that came with Helper Ives, so that seems to be the same, but the other 2 versions are different and mixed about and whatever, so something's amiss. But it's too kind of difficult. I mean, I'd like to maybe let the designer and that know that, or find out more about it, but to try and explain it, I don't know. Maybe I'll get around to do that. The thing is, I'm not getting any real responses for it. I replied back to the guy that said about identifying more than one intel marker, and he said, yeah, as long as you coordinate officers, and I've sent him a comment back saying, yeah, I can't quite see that clear in the rules. Could you give give me more info, reference me to the section that you're talking about, because there's none of that seems to apply. So I don't know if the guy's just it sounds like that's the way he believes it to be, but there's no evidence that I can see. So unless he comes back and tells me that he was part of the design team, then I'd be like, okay, right then. I would also then add that I think you need to make that clear in the rules, though. So anyway, right, okay, I'll stop going on, and I'll get back later for the next part. Okay, cheers.